All right, so we're in our next video. We last week we were talking about I talked about why I use the King James Bible, and we're going through things to help you in interpreting the Bible. And today I want to talk to you about tools to help you in studying the Bible. Okay, so the first thing that I would recommend is I would recommend getting a good study Bible or at least a reference Bible. And what I want to do is talk about several of them. Let me just go through some of them. So, and I'll put links to these. I have here a Ryrie study Bible. Ryrie was it's a study Bible. It's got it's got reference. I don't know if you can see the references on the outer margins, and then it's got notes on the bottom explaining things. Ryrie comes from a really good theological position on most things. The majority of his things are great. I would recommend. It's a great all around study Bible. It's got nice wide margins. You could write your own notes in. And one of the things you need to be aware of with all study Bibles is you can't just not everything they say is going to be accurate because the study Bible is produced by man. So you have to read the notes discerningly and just realize that the notes in a study Bible are not inspired. Okay, it doesn't mean you shouldn't use them. I still think you should. But so like one of the things about the Ryrie is he is a little bit critical of the King James. And like for example, he thinks 1 John 5:7 the comma. You can read about that, but he thinks 1 John 5:7 that there's a few words in the King James that shouldn't be in the Bible. But it's a good study Bible, so I would recommend that. There's another study Bible out here. This is just one of the editions. This is the King James Study Bible put out by Nelson. It used to be called the Liberty Annotated Study Bible. It was put out by Liberty University. It is actually, the notes are done by independent fundamental Baptist. They are critical of the King James translation in places, but it's got center column references. It's got explanatory notes. One of the things I like about all Nelson, at least the Nelson study Bibles that are any reference Bibles put out by Nelson in recent time have archaic words and synonyms defined. And I generally like them. I find them to be generally helpful. But the King James Study Bible by Nelson has a lot of good stuff in it. There's another study Bible out. Holman puts out a study Bible. Holman is, I believe Holman is the publishing house. I think they're Southern Baptist, but they put out a study Bible. It's called the Holman Study Bible, and the notes are generally pretty good. They're Baptistic. One of the things I like about the Holman Study Bible, it has references, center column references, has explanatory notes. But one of the things I like about their explanatory notes is in about certain passages where there is controversy, they'll give you the different positions. Then they'll tell you the strengths and weaknesses for some of the positions. So I like that. There's a study Bible out there. It's called the Defined King James Study Bible. The Defined King James Study Bible is put out by Bible for Today, and I'm gonna put links for all these if you want to get them. I don't have one of these in front of me, but the Defined King James Bible is it's just the text of the King James, but it has footnotes with archaic and uncommon words defined. And the guy put it together. He's D.A. Waite is kind of the guy who puts it out, and he comes from a King James only position, so he's not critical of the translation of the King James. Okay, there's another study Bible out there. It's called the AMG Keyword Study Bible. It's got references. It's got explanatory notes. The notes are relatively pretty good. But it has a Hebrew and a Greek lexicon. That's just a fancy word for a dictionary in another language, where you can go on and you'll see if you've ever used Strong's numbering system in the text as you're reading the text, it'll have numbers above some of the words, and you can go and look those up in the dictionary, the Greek and Hebrew dictionary in the back, and it's got all sorts of. There's a lot of good stuff if you're interested in Hebrew and Greek. Again, his notes are at times critical of the King James translation, but the AMG Study Bible, it's a good, probably more if you want it, probably more of a scholarly study Bible. I mean, it'd still be helpful, but anyway, Some other ones, Schofield's Study Bible. I actually recommend the Schofield 3. They in the Schofield 3 they got rid of some of the weird things in Schofield's notes, like he like the gap theory. I think they took that out, and just the layout's a little bit. In my opinion, the layout is a lot more aesthetically pleasing, etc., etc. The Thompson Chain Reference Bible is okay. Some people like it. I'm just mentioning it because it's popular. Thompson Chain Reference Bible is just basically Bible has a lot of references. You can study the Bible. It has these topical chain references. So if you like studying topics and things, you'll like that. And again, just realize study Bibles are not infallible, but they can definitely be helpful. I would definitely recommend at least getting a Bible that has wide margin. Cross references. I like this. This is what I use. This is a Nelson Journal the Word Reference Edition, and I really like it because, as you can see here, it has a lot of space for notes. It's got center column references. It's got footnotes here on the bottom with archaic words defined. This is what I've been using. I like it. But you gotta find what's best for you. Probably the Ryrie is probably just the best. Like if you just want an all around good study Bible, probably the Ryrie. But again, you just gotta look at them and figure out what you like. Okay, so study Bibles are helpful. I would recommend you at least get a wide margin Bible or Bible cross references. I would encourage you to write in your Bible, take notes when you learn things. If you look up words and you write cross references, write thoughts, write things that God speaks to you about, things like that. Okay, so other thing is, commentaries are not a bad thing. Commentaries are your friend. Now you can't treat commentaries like they're the Bible themselves, but commentaries are helpful. So I'm going to just link to an article on Bible commentaries by wayoflife.org. You can read it. You can read what he has to say about commentaries, and I think his guide is generally good. So I won't talk too much about commentaries. Dictionaries are good. 1828 Noah Webster's Dictionary is probably the most important one for if you're going to read the King James Bible, but it's an American English dictionary, but it's from 1828. So a lot of the words will be more closer in meaning to what they were in the King James. Oxford's English Dictionary is a really good dictionary to look words up because you can often find what the archaic meaning of words were back in the day. Lexicons are good. Lexicon is just a dictionary for another language, so Hebrew and Greek. For Hebrew, I like Brown Driver's Briggs Hebrew Lexicon. For Greek, Thayer's is okay. My favorite lexicon is published by AMG. It's called the Complete Word Study Dictionary. Some people like Strong's Concordance. Strong's Concordance is not bad. And I'm going to talk more about stuff. Get you a good Bible dictionary. I recommend the Way of Life Encyclopedia of Christianity. I'll link to that. Smith's Bible Dictionary. And that brings me to the next point. I want to talk. Make use of modern technology. So Esword is my favorite program. I'm going to open it up here on the screen in a second just to go through things. I have Esword on my computer. I have it on my phone. I have it on my iPhone. Unfortunately, it only runs on Mac or on iOS. There are other ones you can get like Sword Searcher, but I have not used that much. Some people like Olive Tree is a decent. If you have the money, Logos is a great program. But I like Esword. For example, on Esword, you can get a King James text with every word coded to Strong's Concordance, and you can just tap on the screen. I'm going to show that to you in a little bit. There's at least 29 free Bible commentaries. There's 10 different Bible dictionaries, including Smith's Bible Dictionary and Noah Webster's 1828. There are 3 different free Bible language lexicons. There's around 40 free reference books. There's a handful of free devotionals. I like Esword. I really do. Of course, there are other programs. So what I want to do now is just maybe pop up Esword real quick here just to kind of give you an idea. So here on the left, I got my text. You can get tons of different translations. I have Spanish Bibles here. But this is the King James text with these numbers. So like, let's say I want to know what ashamed is. I can look it up. This will tell me everywhere the word is used and how it's translated. This is Mounts is a Greek dictionary. It's on here. It's free. It'll tell me it means to humiliate or to shame. I can bring up these references and look at them. So you can scroll down here, and I can see a couple different ones. Here, Strong's, you can see what words it's translated from. These are, and then so you click on what verse you want to read, and then these are the commentaries that I have. These are all the ones that you can get for free. Well, some of these are like MacArthur. I think you have to pay for that one. And again, I don't believe everything I read in any of these. It's kind of piecemeal. You read what you want, but you see all the different things that you can get. Here are the different Bible dictionaries. So if I want to type in what does letteth mean, okay, let probably I guess doesn't come up. Let's just say conversation here. See how conversation is right here? Type in conversation. Notice here, conversation according to Noah Webster means a general course of manners or behavior. So it's a different meaning than what we're used to. Let's say you're reading in, let's just go to some random passage in Genesis. Keturah. You're like, okay, who's Keturah? So you're going to go here. You're going to type in Keturah. And look at this is a Bible Encyclopedia entry. Okay? So these are a lot of things that you can do in Esword, and a lot of this stuff is free. Like the overwhelming majority of it is free. So that is kind of my little quick run through of tools and things that you can use to kind of help you in understanding the Bible. I'm going to put a lot of links in the video here. And if you have questions, leave a comment, like, subscribe, etc. You already know how it is, all right? All right, you guys have a nice day. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. God bless.